Alright, welcome back to Asian American Dad, and in this video, I'm going to react to a Jubilee video called, what was it exactly? Do all virgins think the same? I guess we'll find out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start the video, and let's see if all virgins think the same. Let's go.
Especially when like older male virgins get ridiculed. It's like, what? Why aren't you like having a girlfriend or something? Why aren't you getting married soon? Or, oh, you're an incel then, right?
Okay.
Oral sex counts as losing your virginity. 3, 2, 1, go.
I would say no, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I'm thinking oral sex is no, but I guess kind of. So I guess it's no with an asterisk. That's what I think.
I mean, I believe that we call it oral sex for a reason because you get the same benefits from somebody's mouth as you would from vaginal intercourse. So it is sex.
I think I agree with that because it's like growing up, that's what sex is. It's right. It's the full, like the whole thing. But that makes sense because you're getting to the same end goal. So I'm gonna go here.
Oh, look at that.
Well, hearing you all say that, it makes me rethink kind of. I've just always assumed it's just penetration.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like losing my virginity means like receiving it through my back end. If you all know what I'm saying. That's just like my own personal definition of like what virginity to me is.
I am afraid of having sex. 3, 2, 1, go.
That's scary.
You said I'm afraid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm definitely not afraid. I'm actually kind of, wait, you guys are afraid of sex? I know my path. I will get married. I will have sex with my wife, and it's going to be great. I have no fear about that whatsoever.
I feel like exposing yourself at your rawest form to another human being.
Who I love.
Who you love, yeah, okay, that's
I think that's interesting. Like, you're afraid of having. I think because that guy looks like he's a little bit older than all the other people. So because of that, I think for him, he's like, I'm just ready to get this over with. So I think that some of the other folks, again, yeah, I haven't got close-ups of all of them, but they all look a little younger. So I think because, they're still in their, I don't know, maybe teenage or early 20s or whatever, they're probably a little more nervous because they haven't been through anything. I think for him, he looks a little older. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's just ready to rock and roll,
Who loves me, yeah.
But you're not like at all like even nervous?
No, not at all.
Damn, dog.
I mean, I'm talking right now, so I don't know how I'll be in the room. But like, if it's a person who I love and we've dated and we know each other and we know how we work, communication is key. No, I would be very comfortable.
Just in general, I just feel like I'm going to be extremely awkward. So, yeah, I'm a little scared, but I'm not really scared of losing it to the wrong person because no matter what, I intend for it to be just this monogamous one-time thing, but I am scared of that person perhaps not being the one that I'm supposed to be with forever, for the rest of my life.
I think like a lot of the pressure does come from like porn because it paints a picture in your mind that like 90% of the time can't be fulfilled or satisfied. So if I'm gonna be having sex, right? She expects like an iPhone Pro 12 Max, and all I have is a 12 mini. Like that's what some guys think, right? And you feel like you can't live up to those standards because for the most part you probably can't. It's fake.
I heard you whisper, I don't care, and I felt the same way. Like, I think that the right person wouldn't care.
Maybe we just have too much time to think about these things and we put too much pressure on ourselves for whatever reason to look a certain way or act a certain way. And you're gonna figure that out when the time is right. So why spend your time worrying about that right now? So maybe I'm a little bit less
move
scared.
back. There you go. Move back.
Yeah.
Nothing to fear.
I'm saving myself for marriage. 3, 2, 1, go.
Saving myself for marriage was something I was taught growing up. It was something very indoctrinated to my mind. So, at a young age, I made that decision. I don't want to give that part of me to somebody else that's not going to take that journey with me.
I think the energy exchange between me and my future wife will just be so powerful that when we do get married, I'm just waiting for that moment. And I know that in the future years after that moment, it'll just be great sex after great sex after great sex, just because I've waited for that moment and it's something special to me.
I feel like that guy's gonna be so disappointed because he's putting it like on this pedestal and everything. And I'm not saying he's gonna have a bad time, but I don't know. I feel like he's really hyping it up quite a bit.
So, I haven't been in a relationship, and I'm not sure how I would act in a relationship. So that's why I'm on the just agree line, because I would love to save myself from marriage. That's what I am aiming for at this point. But I also haven't dated anybody or been in any relationship, so I don't know how I'm gonna act. I don't know if that's gonna be my first love or what type of pressure is going to be on me. So that's why I'm not on strongly agree, because I'm still a human and I don't know.
Have many men like asked you out on dates or like tried to date you?
Yes, but I usually run away because I'm scared.
And like, what causes you to run away? Like, what's like?
I think my mentality when I was young of just being afraid of men in general, just because getting pregnant where I'm from wasn't abnormal at a young age, so I just never wanted that to happen to me.
Just like her, I have like zero relationship experience, except no one asked me to go out with them. Another compelling thing for me on saving my virginity to a marriage is that, I had an unfortunate occasion on being sexually mishandled by a girl when I was young. I didn't know back then it was considered, not good until later on. And it made me very protective, maybe very selective.
I used to have that mentality of wanting to wait till marriage. That was something when I was younger. I just, for some reason, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't grow up in a religious home where that was something that was expected at all. It was just a decision I wanted to make. But I think for me, it started to evolve into when I feel comfortable, when I feel it's someone that I want to have that experience with. But I didn't want it to be this like checkbox that I needed to have filled before I decided to make that decision.
I enjoy watching porn. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so porn does release a lot of dopamine, so we technically all do enjoy it, but it's the after the fact you realize like how horrible that was. You're watching two people have sex through a phone screen in the bathroom. It's kind of disgusting. I'm on like over 1,000 days nofap. I haven't watched porn in over 1,000 days, so I was exposed to it at like 10 years old. It's not natural. It's not healthy at all.
10 years old.
I try not to watch it, but when I do watch it, I do enjoy it. So I have to be honest here. But I really have been trying to do more nofap, but I'm just not to 1,000 days or anything like that.
I mean, I believe watching porn is like a private experience. I mean, y'all don't like go out and say, hey y'all, I watch porn and stuff. I mean, I see watching porn as like an outlet of like my sexual frustration. Like it helps me like maintain my virginity.
Because I haven't had sex myself and experienced that, it's been almost a tool for me to kind of learn and understand how sex works, because I didn't ever have a sex ed class or health or anything like that. There are different types of porn, right? Some are like more romantic and natural, I feel like, and some are a little bit crazy. There's beauty to some that is natural and how it actually would be. I don't think it's all bad.
So do you believe that what you see in the porno videos is actually how people have sex in real life?
No, not in most.
I think about having sex a lot. 3, 2, 1, go.
For a while, I kind of low-key thought something was wrong with me because I never thought about it at all. It's not something that ever popped up. I always knew I was a little different because I just never thought about it or wanted to think about it.
I feel the same way, actually. I thought something was wrong too, and then one of my friends was like, well, maybe you're asexual. And
Yes, I saw that, and I
took
Googled it, and I was like, is this me?
Yeah, and I
But
kind of took offense to it. It made me feel like something's wrong with me, you know?
I do think about it a lot, but I thought about it a lot more when I wasn't abstaining from like porn and masturbation. Instead of just thinking about it and just either, going to waste it out by just masturbating, obviously, or going to find a partner to do it with. Instead, I just sit down, crisscross, and I literally just meditate, and then I focus on channeling that sexual desire that we're all born with, and I channel it into something that actually would benefit me, like making YouTube videos, working out.
For me, I constantly think more about finding the right partner for me, finding the right guy in my relationship. I went through like really bad fallouts with like other people. I just don't want to feel like I'm just nothing. I just want to feel like I'm someone to someone's life outside my family.
Our culture focuses on women's virginity more than men's.
Oh,
3,
100%.
2, 1, go.
Huh. I don't know why that guy disagrees.
You need to read it again?
No, I don't know.
I feel like men are more praised when they're a virgin. I feel like people put more attention on them whenever they are a virgin. It's a bigger deal.
I know growing up, the people who I was taught by put a lot of pressure to keep yourself pure or to, cover yourself as a woman for the sake of men. Either we're seen as more promiscuous if we do it, or we're seen as more prude if we don't.
Yeah.
I would counter that by saying for a guy, you're seen as like what's wrong with you, like if you're still a virgin. Whereas if you aren't a virgin, it's like, okay, finally you're on our team now. You're normal now.
Okay,
So we almost kind of get like shamed, like who's that guy, you know?
All right. Okay. So I will say I agree with what he said. I think when you're a guy, there is some pressure for you to, I guess, not be a virgin. When you're younger, as you grow up, it doesn't matter as much, whatever. But when you're younger and you're around your peers who have very limited mind capacity, when you're going through adolescence, your hormones are changing, a lot of the young kids, that's what they're focusing on. So I get what he's saying. But I don't think that's true when you become an adult, like a legit adult. I think people don't care about that so much, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
I'll take a step for you, bro. I'm gonna take a step. It's true.
So women get shamed for sleeping around, but
Right.
men get shamed for not.
Exactly.
That's messed up.
Especially when like older male virgins get ridiculed. It's like, why aren't you like, having a girlfriend or something? Why aren't you getting married soon? Or, you're an incel then, right? I mean, it's just a different dynamic when it comes to, being ridiculed as a female virgin compared to like a male virgin.
Being a virgin is tied to my religion. 3, 2, 1, go.
It is my decision, but it is very much tied to my Catholicism and what we're taught about the sacred, just the holiness of the body and the soul, and the value that your virginity is, not even just, from a strictly biological sense, but the fact that you're willing to wait and you're willing to put off something that the world is trying to push on you.
Isn't being a virgin tied to every religion? Technically, they all say like no premarital
That's
sex.
what I was
Well, if you're
thinking
not
too.
religious, though, then maybe individually it's not tied to your beliefs.
Yes, I'm not religious. I don't go to church as much as I should, but it's my decision. It's not a religion for me.
The way I see it is God put us here for reasons, and most people don't follow those reasons, but the few who do, they are rewarded for following the path. So I almost kind of see it as almost kind of like a superpower, that God is like, hey man, you're on my side, you're doing my work, you're walking my path, good work. Like,
I mean, it's true, that is-
like it's gonna be, what?
I mean, like, sex does create new life, right? So if you're abstaining from that, you're not just giving it to just about anybody, that is a superpower, because it's staying within your own self. And if you can learn how to control it and channel that sexual energy by other means, you can put more work into your school, into your job, passion, hobby, instead of just having it stay as sexual energy.
Right. And well, and you know, just relying on that answer as it's my religion, you know, staying faithful to what you believe in anything, not just sex, it can be very difficult because we are human, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's human nature.
yeah, just because we have the excuse or reasoning of religion doesn't make it any easier for us.
We're walking together. I'm still saying goodbye, but I'm walking in the
That
same
way?
direction.
So I'm not sure what I expected prior to going to that video, but I guess it was interesting just to hear everybody's perspective as to like either why they're virgin or why or or you know what to think about sex. I mean, it was interesting to hear about like some of them about how their fears were. You know, I think um, that was interesting. That was interesting. I guess I don't really have much to say about that video, but except that it was interesting. You know, like you know, I'm a dad. I'm an older guy, so obviously I'm not a virgin. It's been many years, but but it was interesting just to hear what some of these guys are thinking. The guy with the cowboy hat. I mean, I feel like one of his probably his issue just might be, well, a couple of issues. Number one, he mentioned how there was something that happened to him when he was younger, which you know, he didn't get into, but I think obviously that probably soured his desire for any of that for a little bit, and that just kind of ruined him, which is pretty unfortunate. But you know, I think he's just maybe because of that he's incredibly shy, and he's not meeting people or meeting the right people. Then there's that other guy that I thought was an older gentleman, but as I look closer, like I don't know if he's that much older than these guys, but maybe it's just the way he carries himself that it seemed like he was older. But you know, I mean, the one thing about him was that I feel like he's really putting a lot of pressure on his soon to be or his going to be or future wife or whatever. And you know, there's a lot of pressure in there that everything's going to be magical, everything's going to be amazing, everything's going to be whatever. And I don't know if anybody's going to be able to withstand all that pressure. That's a lot of hype. So I really don't know. But it's interesting. Then there's that one girl that she says, you know, she gets hit on all the time, but she just has kind of no desire. That's interesting. I mean, you know, I never really understood, I guess, what asexual was, and I'm not saying that she is, but they just kind of brought that up in the middle of the video, and that's interesting. You know, just someone who is not, I guess, just whatever. I mean, they just whatever. They don't think about it. You know, that's interesting. I'm not saying I think about it all the time, but it seems strange, the idea of not thinking about it at all. I mean, that's interesting to me. But yeah, overall, I mean, I thought that was a very interesting video. It kind of opened my eyes a little bit, just to see what people's perspectives were. So, anyways, with that, one thing I am curious is that I wonder what the population is from like virgins versus non-virgins. Just because just out of curiosity. I mean, I wonder like when people typically lose their virginity. Like what's the average age? I have no idea. For like males and females, like what's the difference? I'm not sure. But I think that's interesting. Anyways, if you like this video, click a like, subscribe, notification bell, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.